Well, hello everybody, this is DearMamaSal, and I'm on my way to do my leadership weekend for the young people. I will be going in and opening up. I'm going early just to help them set up, just do the last minute things with them, and then I will be their opening speaker tonight, and I will go back and have lunch with them tomorrow, just so that I can get a feel of what's going on the program, how they're enjoying it. And then I will go back and close it on Sunday morning, about Sunday morning-ish. And so it's a whole weekend of backwards and forwards for me, but it's well worth it because it sort of keeps me in touch with the participants, and they feel like I'm there a lot more than I actually am. But most of all, I get lots of hugs. I cannot believe how many hugs I'm going to get. So, you know how much I love that, right? I wanted to just let you know that probably by the end of this weekend, if not somewhere early next week, we're already up to 555,000 views. Wow. It seems to be quite incredible somehow to me that we have done that, and that we have in some way affected that many people. And like everything else in the world, some people have watched a little and some have watched a lot. And some have subscribed, and I hope you have. And some have given thumbs up, and I hope you have. But, you know, the incredible thing is how many people have, you know, come and joined in the broadcasts, for example, or when they got really something happened to them that they were getting overwhelmed with, you know, bother to write and get some input. And so to me, the greatest gift that we have, and that's the whole reason I started this, was because I wanted to be able to create this safe place for people where they could ask questions that maybe they didn't feel comfortable asking elsewhere, or where they were in trouble with the very people that they would normally ask for help from, for example. So to me it was a very, very important mission, and I try to remember that this was never about the numbers as much as it was about, have we done any good? And you know, the more I look back, the more I know we have, and we have some awesome stories that are in our minds and will be. Nobody will ever erase them. And so I look at it and go, that each of us in our own way each of us in our own way have passed forward some of the experience that we have had. Oh dear, oh dear. I think a couple of cars had a little chat here. Oh no, this is serious. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4 cop cars. That's pretty serious stuff. That looks almost like a takedown to me. Glad it wasn't me. They're like 4 cop SUVs, black ones. They look like they are serious stuff. They're not your local, you know, hello, I'm your local cop sort of stuff. They were dressed like, hello, we're actually one level down from the SWAT team. Or maybe even we are the SWAT team. No, you could see their faces, so they weren't the SWAT team. Anyway, they were serious looking dudes, guys. I'm glad I'm not there. Little scary moment. Now, why do I feel the energy of that? Had nothing to do with me. Okay. The little kid in me is going, what did I do? And I did nothing, of course. Oh, that poor little kid. And so the most amazing thing is this weekend, of course, I get to literally talk almost one-on-one with almost every one of the people there. And they will get it. That not all old farts are old farts. That some of them have a lot of life left back in the system somewhere, if they can just dig it out fast enough. And that some old farts are actually quite good fun. I like to think that they'll find that out. I know it's always very surprising to them that I'm funny. Because when you go on a leadership convention type weekend, you don't expect the opening speaker to be funny. You expect the opening speaker to be very serious leader. Well, you know, I'm quite a serious leader. I just don't believe that you have to always do everything the way that people tell you to. I think I have been in my time an incredible leader, and I've done it with a great deal of humor. In fact, almost to the extent that the worse the situation got, the funnier it became. I can remember when we were doing one of these type things. It was for an older age group. When I was the chair of it for many years, and I used to have this thing with the facilitators that, you know, if you had a problem, you know, just get hold of me on the walkie-talkie and just say Houston, you know, and then tell me where you are. And it was so funny because nobody ever just said Houston. The idea was, you know, that I'd get it. But, you know, you'd get these panic calls on the walkie-talkie. Houston! We have a problem! And of course I'd key back and go, no, we haven't. What's your problem? Because I'm a great believer that, you know, we don't have a problem until I accept it. And by the way, when those of you who are in business, or those of you who will get into business, or those of you who are in the business of doing anything, when anybody comes to you and says, we've got a problem, and you haven't even heard what it is yet, the answer is, no, we haven't, but tell me about your problem. And it really rocks people back, but it's true. You know, until I accept it, we do not have a problem. Here I am. I'm in presentation mode, aren't I? Yeah, you can hear that. But I can remember some horror stories that were so funny. And then we had a whole evening of, you know, the wheels coming off, you know, which is one of the tricks of good leadership. Good leadership is where the wheels come off and none of the participants know that they did. You know, you either make it look like part of the program, or you, you know, conceal it well enough that nobody really has an idea of what's going on. But I remember that we'd had an evening of things happen. Houston was mentioned many times during the evening. And then I was just going to bed. Some of you might have heard the story, but I was just going to bed. And it was probably 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was going to get a quick hour's sleep, and I was just about to lie down, and beep on the walkie-talkie. Houston, we have a serious problem. And you're going, oh my goodness. I mean, we'd had some serious problems, believe me, but nobody had called them that. They'd all just said Houston, or Houston, we have a problem. But nobody had said we have a serious problem. So, you know, now my mind is imagining all sorts of terrible things. And give me your location. So the facilitator said, no, you don't need my location. I just need you to know we've got a terrible problem. And I said, okay, what is your terrible problem? He said, I've run out of hot chocolate. I said, what did you just tell me? He said, I've run out of hot chocolate. Which will give you an idea of the need for humor that night. And it was brilliant. It really was, because I know I just heard all sorts of people keying on their walkie-talkies, you know, all the different facilitators. And they were all keying. They were all laughing so hard. Mind you, it might have had something to do with what I actually replied to him, which wasn't necessarily very polite. And probably not words that they had heard from my mouth very often. But it was definitely communicative of my feelings at the time. But I was laughing so hard I didn't know what to do. And then I just said, somebody get him some hot chocolate, for goodness sake, I need some sleep. Lordy, lordy. Yeah, so I think that leadership doesn't have to be that serious. I think leadership is as much fun. Oh, rats, that's where I want to be. Sorry. I hate it when I turn right when I'm meant to be turning left. I had a feeling there was a coffee shop here. And there is, and I have a feeling that I have got coffee here before on my way. You guys probably remember that. I always get it confused with a place near Benji's where I occasionally stop before I go home and pick up some good coffee. Well, I don't mean that I'm not getting good coffee at Benji's, in case you think that. All right, I'll be right back. Well, it's a small, small world. Because guess who? I just went into the coffee shop, and it's way out of my normal route. But a young lady I've known since she was about 8 is brewing coffee there, so that was really cute. Yeah, I'm leaving much more room than I would normally leave, because we know I'm not used to the tow hitch that's there yet. Ah, 2 little doggies. Okay, so onward. So that was a really nice surprise for me to see somebody. It's a good omen, I like to think. I've now got a serious cup of coffee. And on my way. As I said, the really fun part about it is that it's amazing how much influence you can have on somebody's life in a very short space of time. It's amazing how one little phrase you use can change their life forever. And it's amazing to me that I've been so honored to have been invited back year after year after year after year after year after year. And it really is also very surprising to me that I keep getting rated as highly as I do, as highly as I do, because every year I go there, I am that much older. That much older than the participants. You know, it was a lot easier when I was only 40, or even in my 30s, you know. And I am a serious old fart in their eyes. But you know something? That's only an age. Very little to do with my mentality, as a lot of you know. So I'm going to have lots of fun. I hope you're having a fun day, and I apologize for not being able to do a broadcast this weekend. I'm going to try not to do one, because if I do, it'll be because I feel guilty for not having done one. But I know that I need to rest, so that's what I'm going to work on. Oh, I think I'm going to park right here next to an entrance. All right, everybody. I'll see you on the way back, or not. It'll probably be too dark on the way back. But my word for the day is adventure, because you never know who you're going to meet at something like this. I met Marnie through something like this, so that's why I get so excited. You never know who you're going to meet this time. And so this is the start of a new adventure with a whole new group of people. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, remember to keep adventure in your life. It sort of brightens you up. Bye-bye for now.